Good evening, friends. I am Dr. Ashok Tripathi, once again welcoming you on my channel History, Culture, Historiography and Research Methodology. Friends, today's topic of discussion is Kumbh Mela, the India's ageless festival. India is such a magnificent country which is known worldwide for its unity in diversity. India is known for its diverse cultural traditions, fairs, and festivals. Kumbh Mela is such a mega event which brings together millions of young and the old from different regions and different walks of life. Kumbh Mela, the largest gathering on the earth, allows people of different backgrounds to come together and join in a common sensory experience. All the Indian fairs incorporate sounds, fragrances, tastes, sights, and forms of that culture, Indian culture. Kumbh Mela is a sort of mobile university, you can say, multi university, functioning by rotation at four centers: Haridwar, Prayag, Nasik, and Ujjain. Kumbh is India's ageless festival, and the tradition of Kumbh is very ancient. We find references of Amrit Kumbh in Rig Veda, Shukla Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, Mahabharat, Ramayana, Garud Puran, and Skand Puran, etc. There exist several opinions regarding its origin. According to a legend in Skanda Puran, gods and demons started Samudra Manthan, that is, churning of ocean. Out of 14 gems found in the ocean, the most important one was Amrit Kumbh, nectar. The gods and demons fought a 12-day battle, 12 years as per human calendar, to gain control of the pitcher. The divine king Indra's son Jayant fled with Amrit Kumbh, who was chased by demons in, in an endeavor to keep the nectar from falling into the hands of demons. The demigods hid it in four places on the earth: Prayag, Haridwar, Ujjain, and Nasik. At each of the hiding places, drops of Amrit also fell, which enhanced the holiness of these places. Since the Kumbh Melas have been taking place at one or the other of these places every 12 years. Friends, astrological explanations of Kumbh are also offered. The position of constellation, that is Sun, Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn, and their conjunctions are considered to determine the exact date and time of Kumbh according to Hindu astrology. The position and conjunction of these are important since these constellation gods had played important roles with regard to protection, supervision, and preservation of Amrit Kumbh during the god demon battle as narrated in the ancient Indian mythology. According to Vishnu Puran, the gods Jupiter, Sun, Moon, and Saturn helped Jayant for its defense. Moon protected nectar from falling, Sun from melting, and Saturn saved it from Jayanta himself, who might have otherwise drunk it. According to the mythological tradition, it is said that when in every 12 years these four planets meet at an auspicious time, then it is called Kumbh Mela, a time of union and assemblies of sadhus and mahatmas, saints, holy persons, ascetics, and all lay people to take holy bath at this time. There exists another opinion regarding the Kumbh congregation. According to this, The learned Hindu ascetics of high order used to congregate at four places at regular intervals to discuss religious scriptures as means of exchanging views and knowledge that they attained individually out of constant meditation and self cultivation. Kumbh Mela was compared with Dharma Sangatis or religious councils of Buddhists and the reformation of Hinduism by Shankaracharya. We know that from time to time four councils were convened by Buddhists at Rajgrih, Vaishali, Patliputra, and Kundalvan, respectively, to discuss Buddhist religious scriptures. These congregations and Shankara's Dashnami sannyasis have a close resemblance to the great councils of the Buddhists. It is believed that ordinary householders took this opportunity to listen to the discourse of these souls and enhanced their knowledge of religion and philosophy. In course of time, such religious gatherings gradually transformed into great festivals like Kumbh. No advertisement, no invitation, yet such a congregation make Kumbh festivals very, very special. My dear friends, Kumbh Mela is India's ageless festival, and Kumbh Mela is the cultural messenger of India. And it is very difficult to trace the origin of Kumbh Mela. Its origin is indistinct, though it had for many centuries attracted the curiosity of foreign travelers. Megasthenes, the Greek ambassador to the court of Chandragupta, visited Kumbh Mela at Prayag for 75 days in the 4th century BC. Wensang, a Chinese traveler, toured India in the 17th century from 629 to 644 AD during the reign of Harshvardhana and gave an eyewitness report of Magh Mela at Prayag in his travelogue. He estimated about 2.5 lakhs of people taking holy bath in the river Ganga at Prayag and called it Dharma Mahasabha. Dharma Mahasabha. After every 5 years, Harshvardhana called an assembly at Prayag where he gave away each and everything, even his clothes and ornaments, to the needy and the poor, then requested to his sister Rajeshri to give him clothes and ornaments to wear. Some scholars have tried to compare this event with Kumbh and Ardha Kumbh Melas. It is said that the importance of Kumbh increased several times from the time of Adi Shankaracharya, the founder of Dashnami Sampradaya. Shankaracharya divided the sannyasis into 10 denominations. He tried to bring all the Hindu ascetics of different sects under one common banner. He established 4 mathas: Sringeri Peeth, Sarda Peeth, Govardhan Peeth, and Jyotish Peeth or Jyotirmath in 4 cardinal directions of the country. Kumbh Mela was the best occasion for a get together of sadhus or ascetics and grihasthas or householders. Adi Shankaracharya was one of those avatar purushas who, by his bhashyas, original compositions, and duplications, restored dharma among the people of his times and set before us an all-time example by precept and practice. Shankar has ever since touched and permeated our psyche, our living consciousness. Gradually, Dashnami Naga sannyasis became the biggest center of attraction of Kumbh Melas. The question of precedence in bathing during Kumbh Melas had led to bloody fights between Shaivite and Bairagi sannyasis, and we read a great deal in history about these fights. You can read the details in my book Naga Sannyasiyon Ka Itihas. Later, the British government laid down some rules regarding the bathing processions and which are strictly imposed by the Mela in charge. British government not only made necessary arrangements but at the same time used to prepare descriptive reports of the Kumbh Melas. First report of Kumbh Mela was prepared in 1776 AD by the British when Haridwar was under Marathas. Henry Parkes has given a vivid description of Allahabad Kumbh. He was Revenue Commissioner of Uttar Pradesh, Henry Parkes. So he has given a vivid description of Allahabad Kumbh of 1850 in his travelogue Wanderings of a Pilgrim. He has described the activities of holy men and common men. I want to make a minor correction. Henry Parkes was a traveler. I told you, Revenue Commissioner. Anyway, Henry Parkes has given a vivid description of Allahabad Kumbh of 1850 AD in his travelogue known as Wanderings of a Pilgrim. He has described the activities of holy men or saints and common men in great detail. He has tried to describe every single detail of the activities going on in Mela areas. Some Christian missionaries had requested the British government to ban the naked procession of Nagas on the grounds of morality, but the British government refused to do so and expressed their inability to interfere in this age-old tradition. Kumbh, the most important religious festival, is the symbol of inherent emotional unity in diverse and varied Indian culture. Apart from ascetics and saints of different sects, people from all walks of life, irrespective of worldly barriers of caste, creed, color, and race, gather here from all corners of the country and the planet. Thousands of foreigners join Indian pilgrims in Kumbh Mela. From the very beginning, pomp and show of ascetics on the bathing days and faith of Indian devotees has been a subject of curiosity for foreigners. The most intense level of socio-religious interaction between the sadhus and the householders, or between the saints and grihasthas, between the sadhus and grihasthas, occurs at Kumbh Mela. Thousands of ascetics camp at the Kumbh Mela and millions of lay pilgrims come to bath and to listen to the countless religious discourses given by the holy men. Thus, the Kumbh Mela is just like a socio-religious parliament to discuss various issues regarding worldly and spiritual life of men and women. The sadhus provide the householders with many different kind of religious and practical information. They correctly advise people and help them resolve conflicts of daily life. Sadhus are capable of giving effective instructions to those who are in quest of salvation. Kumbh Mela is a symbol of country's emotional unity. Kumbh Mela's role in promoting national integration and universal brotherhood is praiseworthy. There can't be any better place in the world than the Kumbh Mela to calm down one's religious and spiritual hunger. Friends, there is a long chain of religious fairs in India, but the nature and character of Kumbh Mela is different in many aspects. The significance of this unique event is the blending of religious and cultural features. Kumbh Mela is the largest single gathering on the earth. A team of foreign researchers visited the Mahakumbh Mela 2013 at Allahabad, and they found that even though people at the festival came from different castes and social backgrounds, there was a strong sense of common identity. The Kumbh Mela hold the secret to how big communities can live together in harmony. Even scientific and technological advances have failed to bring humanity together on earth. This is the greatest investment for promoting national integration, religious and cultural integration. Kumbh allows people to come out of mechanistic and materialistic life and develop a bond of love with others without any discrimination of caste, creed, and color. Apart from Indian states, a large number of foreign tourists from Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, and America tour India to attend Kumbh Melas. Thus, Kumbh Mela promotes international business and is a suitable place for cultural exchange and mutual understanding. Kumbh Melas are just like global village wherein different cultures, different religions, different schools of thoughts come together and discuss and share information and knowledge. It is like an open university or religion to provide spiritual knowledge to those who are trying to get rid of worldly pains and clamoring for salvation. Quest for immortality and salvation is common among all classes of society. Thus, friends, I hope you liked this very small talk and this video. And if so, please comment on this video and subscribe my channel. If you want to read in detail about Kumbh Melas, about Naga Sannyasis, about Akhadas, then you can read my book Naga Sannyasiyon Ka Itihas in Hindi, which is available on Flipkart also. Thank you, friends, for listening me. Good night.